Welcome back to the Small Business Connection, Small Business Big Advice video series. Today I'm with Ed Miller from Mullerhaus Legacy, and we're going to talk about networking basics. So tell me a little bit, in your experience, how should you prepare for a networking event?
Sure, that's a great question. Preparing ahead of time is always really important, and what I think is most important is first knowing who you're looking for. Have some idea of the kinds of people, the titles or companies you're looking for. You can use LinkedIn to do this. Maybe have some LinkedIn connections that are people you're trying to identify. Look for the faces on LinkedIn, look for them at the event, or ask people they might know about. A second thing to prepare for is to arrive early and stay late. Never arrive last second because you're rushed, you're trying to find a place to park, and you're always kind of harried. If you get there early or stay late, there's plenty of conversations that take place in those quieter moments that I think are really, really fascinating, and no one's feeling quite so stressed.
Yeah,
and
it's more casual.
Absolutely, yeah. And you can be more honest because you're not looking over someone's shoulder for who's the next person to meet. The last thing, and most effective tool I've ever found, is bringing an ally, bring a friend, bring a coworker, so you can tag team the event. I would always go with my wife to different events, and we would talk about who we want to meet, and then if I want to meet someone, she can bring me into the conversation, or likewise, she's my escape route if I want to get out. Sometimes I've all had those conversations where I wish I could go, and you can always say, hey, wait, my friend's calling me. So bringing a friend or an ally can be really beneficial.
Awesome. Well, yeah, no, that's excellent advice. Know your audience, bring an ally. I love that. So what should your elevator speech include?
I like to think of it along the lines of a superpower. What is it you do? What is it you bring that no one else can bring? And if you think about in comic books, the sidekick always has a superpower of some sort that helps the hero. In this case, the hero is the client. So my superpower is to help them do something better that they can't do on their own. Let me give you an example of what I do professionally. For Mullerhaus Legacy, our superpower is phrased this way. You worked hard to build your legacy. Let us help your legacy build your business. It's a way to show what we can do with something they already have. On a personal note, my personal elevator pitch is something along the lines of, I'm the guy they always call to find new customers and grow new business. That's a way to explain what I do, and then hopefully it leads to a why kind of a question. Why do you do that? How does that work? That sounds interesting, tell me more. You don't want to say too much, but you want to say enough to give them an idea.
Absolutely, and it sounds really similar to Simon Sinek's Start With Why book. I love that concept.
Yeah, he's a great talker.
So when you're networking with someone face to face, what are some words or phrases you should really listen for?
I'm always listening for words and comments that help us build common ground, find a connection for something. What do we have in common, and are they people that are helping me achieve my goal of meeting certain kinds of people? Most people go to networking events and listen really badly because they're listening for pauses in the conversation to make their sales pitch to somebody. Don't we all hate that?
Yeah.
That's very annoying because then you realize you've just been had, and it's a little disrespectful, quite honestly. The best way to listen is by asking really good questions about the individual you're talking to, so you can find that common ground. And I can ask questions about how long have you been coming to this event? How have you found this event for your networking? Do you know of who else is in the room that you know? And then when all else fails, if you can't think of a question to ask, always ask the other person to elaborate. Well, that's interesting, Kathy. Tell me more. I'd love to hear more. Or can you clarify that?
Yeah.
And you can always ask some kind of question that just gives them an opening to say more. And the more dialogue you have, the more opportunity you have for common ground, connections, who you know in common. Tulsa's such an easy town to network in because there's 2 degrees at most of separation.
Yes.
So all you gotta do is name a couple of high schools or colleges. You can find all kinds of connections.
Listen to understand. That is very important.
Yep.
Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you in the next video.